Still, I really would have liked Godzilla to look mean because he is mean throughout the bulk of the movie. But he still looks relatively mean. He doesn't look as intimidating, but he still looks relatively powerful and relatively intimidating. So it's still right up there with some of my favorite suits, because it pretty much is the same suit as the Mosugoji suit, just has a different head. Now, on to Suit 5, the Daisensu Godzilla suit. Now, I'm going to be honest, I love this suit. I don't know, this is somewhat of a guilty pleasure suit for me. I just really like the overall design of it. It looks a little bit, it's definitely slender than the 64 suit, which is something that I kind of don't like. Especially in terms of the arms and legs, which are my biggest complaint with this suit, is how they are definitely slender, and we lose that muscle bulk that we got with the other two suits, which is a bit of a letdown. These, especially with the arms, they're definitely way too scrawny compared to the body, and it's the same way with the legs. The tail looks good, and the design of the spikes still looks really, really good. In fact, this is something that I actually really like about the Showa Era, is that they always nail the spikes, pretty much. They always pretty much nail the spikes into a way that I really, really like it. Now, overall, this suit is really, really good, other than the legs and the arms. I love this face, though it is a little bit flat and looks kind of like the Cookie Monster if you're looking at it from a point of view shot, or sorry, like a portrait shot, which is something that I have to complain about in this one. Unlike in the 64 Godzilla suit, the 65 Godzilla suit only looks really powerful and intimidating from a side angle. And when it's actually at a portrait shot, looking into the camera, like it is in several cases on Invasion of the Astro Monsters and Godzilla vs. the Sea Monster, the two movies in which it is used, it looks really, really goofy, which is its downfall. Though overall, I really do like this suit. I think that it loses some of its skin texture. That I don't really like its skin texture. It looks a little bit too smooth for my liking, but overall, I do enjoy watching this suit. It's just an overall really fun suit to watch on screen. On to Suit 6, the Musuko Goji suit, the infamous the infamous suit from the Godzilla series. Now, here comes the hate mail in my inbox and the comics and the comment section, and probably a few dislike buttons. I like this suit. Don't kill me. Okay, no one's gone through the screen to kill me, so that's a good sign. Please do not kill me. This is my opinion. I like this suit. I'm so sorry, but I am definitely in the minority when it comes to this suit. I love this suit. In fact, I actually love... This is one of my favorite Godzilla movies, Son of Godzilla. I like this suit, and here's why. This Godzilla is supposed to be very sort of father-like and sympathetic. That's why it looks the way it does. I love its eyes. I love the overall shape of the body. I love its tail. I definitely love its spikes. Its spikes are really good. I don't care what anyone says. I will defend its spikes tooth and nail. And it's bigger than what a normal Godzilla suit was, because it wasn't. It wasn't played by Haruo Nakajima. It was made to look larger than Minla, to make him look much larger and much more bulky, which I believe that they succeeded at. This Godzilla looks really, really bulky, which I really love, and the legs and the arms actually fit to the size of the body, unlike in the 65 Godzilla suit. Now, I really like that. Though still he doesn't look muscular. I can kind of look past that. He does look a little bit too bulky. That is my issue. But I love the overall how the neck fits into the head. I love his arms. I love his arms. The arms fit into the Godzilla suit really, really well. And though his hands are actually a little bit too tiny for his arms, it's just a minor detail that I can look past. Now, here comes the head. I love the head. You see, how can most people really sympathize with animals, like in terms of Rise of the Planet of the Apes or King Kong? We look into their eyes. And that is what the creators of this Musuko Goji suit realized, was that in order for people to connect with this Godzilla, was they had to do something with the eyes. And I believe they have succeeded in it, especially in those last scenes where Godzilla is hugging his son to keep him warm against the falling snow as they hibernate on the island. Especially, you just really connect with this Godzilla over its eyes, and I really like that. I just really love the idea that you can connect with this Godzilla more than on all the other ones because of its eyes. Though I do have to say its face is a little bit too short for my liking. I was able to sort of look past that because I love the position of the eyes, and I just love how sympathetic they made this Godzilla look. So I really like the suit. It's definitely a guilty pleasure Godzilla suit. And I know I'm definitely in the minority when it comes to this suit. So I just really, really like this suit. On to suit 7, oh god, I can't even pronounce this. The Shoshigeki Godzilla suit? Something like that. Which is suit 7, which this was the most used Godzilla suit, which it's actually not one of my favorite Godzilla suits. But it's the most used. It was used from 1968, first appearing in Destroy All Monsters, and the last movie it was in was Godzilla vs. Gigan, where we can actually see the body falling apart. Now, what do I like and what do I dislike about this suit? The first thing I would like to mention is how much scrawnier this Godzilla looks. In fact, Haruo Nakajima really, really liked this suit because it was so flexible and so easy to move around in. But that could be a drawback, because this suit is so scrawny, it almost loses all of its muscle tone that I liked with the last Godzilla suits, or the last few Godzilla suits. Its spikes aren't really good. They look really well if he's at like a side angle, but if you're looking at him like as if he's walking away into the ocean, they look way too fat, and they're definitely not sharp enough for my liking. Ugh, man. Sorry about that. I have a bit of a cold. And something, I think its neck is just a tad bit too long, but I could get past that because Godzilla's supposed to have a rather long neck. Again, I just think this Godzilla suit is way too scrawny. It loses all of its muscle tone, which I really don't like. Its tail is, it's alright. It's a little bit too bulky, but it's still a well enough made tail that I could definitely say, hey, that's all right. I kind of like it. Now, here comes the hardest part of this review of this suit is the head. I don't really know if I like this Godzilla suit's head or not. That is my major issue, because this suit was definitely made for the more childlike Godzilla suit. Now, this suit definitely, they decreased the size of the Godzilla. They decreased the size of the Godzilla eyes. Haha, I'm a poet, didn't even know it. Shut up. And I like the shape of the eyebrow, but I think the mouth is a little bit too narrow. And then its teeth are atrocious. I hate its teeth. Absolutely a horrible positioning of teeth. Now, again, I just don't know if I like it, because I really like the design of the nose on it. Again, as of pretty much all the Showa Era Godzilla suits except for the first two, I'm missing the ears. I love the ears. It's just really hard decision whether I like the Godzilla face or not, because if you're watching this as a child, you're like, yeah, that looks really BA, but then all of a sudden when you're an adult, you're like, it kind of looks lame. So, sort of, I like this suit basically on a nostalgic lens. So, I just don't really know. I have mixed feelings about this suit, actually, in general. So, I guess that means it's not a very good suit. It's an alright suit. Definitely overused, but it was used in two of my favorite Godzilla movies, Destroy All Monsters and Godzilla vs. the Smog Monster. So I guess on to suit 8, the Moguro Godzilla. This suit was used in 1973, and I'm actually going to talk about just the Megalon suit for a little while. You can definitely tell that this suit was put together at the last moment. Because of the wear and tear that the other Godzilla suit had, and definitely in Godzilla vs. Megalon, where you can actually see the suit falling apart, the Godzilla vs. Megalon wasn't originally supposed to have Godzilla in it, which I'm sure this is knowledge for most Godzilla fans, but those who are still not really knowing much about Godzilla, this is definitely worthy information to know. They needed to throw a Godzilla suit in at the last moment. It was originally just going to be Megalon and Gigan, two very interesting monsters, versus Godzilla, versus Jet Jaguar. And at the last minute, Toho said, you know what, just throw Godzilla in there. And they did, and the suit definitely shows that it's very, very, very poorly put together. It's so scrawny. It has no muscle tone at all. It even has less muscle tone than the last Godzilla suit. Apparently, this Godzilla suit only weighed 88 pounds. It definitely does not surprise me. It definitely does not surprise me. And anyways, the two biggest drawbacks to this Godzilla suit is the spikes and its head. I hate this head. It looks like Kermit the Frog, and I just really friggin' hate the Megalon Godzilla suit's head. Now, I understand why they made the head the way they did, and it was because it was supposed to be kid-friendly. And as a kid, you know, you look at that and say, just like any other suit, hey, that's pretty cool, but as an adult, you'd be like, that's the stupidest looking thing I have ever seen. This Godzilla does not look intimidating. It just doesn't have those feelings that the other Godzilla suits, even the last Godzilla suit, had. And that is something that I really, really don't like about this Godzilla suit overall. The spikes are fat, just like any other one. I have the same complaint with the other one. The spikes aren't sharp, and they definitely are way too fat and too wiggly and jiggly for my liking. The tail is alright, but again, the body looks really, really scrawny. Now on to the Godzilla vs. Mechagodzilla and Terra Mechagodzilla Godzilla suit. As with the case of the 64 Godzilla suit, where they had to replace the Mothra vs. Godzilla's head for Ghidorah the Three-Headed Monster, they did the same thing with Godzilla vs. Mechagodzilla and Terror of Mechagodzilla. For some reason, Jun Fukuda maybe just really did not like the head on Godzilla vs. Megalon. Thank God. So the body is still the same. I will still complain about the body. So I just heard my rant about the body in when I was talking about the Megalon suit. So I'm not going to talk about that. But the head makes up for it. Unlike in that one where we don't have any intimidation at all, they change up the eyebrows and make Godzilla have a bit sharper teeth that I really, really love. And they make Godzilla look downright mean and like he means business. And that's what I like about that suit. Perhaps it's because of the cinematography while shooting this Godzilla movie. While shooting these two Godzilla movies. If it was shot any differently, probably the suit would look relatively the same as in Godzilla vs. Megalon. But because they're oftentimes shot at low angles or extreme close-ups, we really get a sense that this Godzilla is mean and powerful. That he's going to be like, hey, if you screw around me, I'm going to fuck your shit up. Which is something that I want to see in more of these Godzilla suits. Which I really love. This Godzilla looks intimidating, it looks aggressive, and it just looks all around mean. And that's what I like. That's what I want. I want Godzilla to look mean, even if he is a protector of the Earth now, which is lame, but I don't care. He's the protector of the Earth, and he really needs to look mean. And in Godzilla vs. Mechagodzilla and Terra Mechagodzilla, they nail it. And it's partially because of how the suit is shot, but just kudos to the head design. Just it really shocked me at how they could just simply change the shape of the eyebrow, and it could look totally different and add so much more to the Godzilla suits. So this concludes the Showa Era Godzilla suits. Stay tuned for the Heisei Godzilla suits.